My family has known Martha since 1997. My son, Maddie, was a victim of homicide at the hands of our child care provider. Martha was one of the lead prosecutors in the trial that successfully held the perpetrator of that crime accountable. I know Martha. I know how much she cares about children. And I know that she will continue to advocate for children and families as the governor of Massachusetts.
When young people were lured into human trafficking and the sex trade here in our state, I don't know where Charlie Baker was. I know where Martha Coakley was. She led the fight to get a human trafficking law in place to protect those young people. And children are safer today because of that. When young people were being preyed upon online, I don't know where Charlie Baker was. I know where Martha Coakley was. She was reaching out and led 49 other states' attorneys generals around this country to secure a nation-leading agreement with social media giants like Facebook to make our kids safer online. That's who Martha Coakley is, and our children are better for it. When thousands of kids around the state over the last 7 years have been facing homelessness, their parents on the brink of default and financial ruin, I don't know where Charlie Baker was. I know where Martha Coakley was. She was there fighting day in and day out to keep those families in their homes and to fight homelessness. And our children are safer and healthier for it. Years ago, in the wake of the Columbine shootings, Martha Coakley was the first person to step forward to address school safety and climate issues. And she continued that work in the Attorney General's office, making sure that educators and kids have the training and the tools and the resources that they need to be safe in school. From teaching kids financial literacy in school, to teaching kids how to take care of themselves, to fighting to make sure that girls and young women have access to reproductive health care and sexual health education. This is a person, Martha Coakley, make no mistake about it, who has devoted her life and her career to fight for young people and children here in our state.
Charlie Baker was head of A&F, Administration and Finance, in the 90s. We saw our caseloads going up, and we saw workers being cut, resources being cut, care for kids going down. I want voters to know that, what my record has been, standing up for every single kid, standing up for their families, working with victims and survivors, working with social workers. And I know that if I am the next governor, it'll be a priority for me. I challenge my opponent to say the same thing. He doesn't have a record of it, and if he stands on the sidelines now while this ad airs, I suggest he's not a suitable governor for Massachusetts. I was campaigning on the Cape. I was at the Outer Cape, and a young woman came up to me. I didn't recognize her. She's 30 years old now. She said, "I came to thank you because you handled my case when I was 13. I was a victim of family sex abuse." And she said, "You know what? It was very hard for me, but I went back to school. I got a job." She said, "I still have nightmares." But she said, "I came to thank you today." That's why I do this work. It's why I went into public service. It's why I've done the work I've done as district attorney, as attorney general. It's why I will do the work as governor to make sure that every child and every family has the resources they need, the expertise that we need to do the best job possible for this.